All right, so we're going to be doing another comic review from another book sent to me by my friend Chris. Thank you as always, brother. And today we're going to be talking about Absolute Wonder Woman, As My Mother's Made Me. This is the second volume of, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Absolute Wonder Woman is probably my favorite of the Absolute titles. So I was excited to read this as soon as possible. Not to say Absolute Batman Abomination was bad, and Absolute Batman's still good. They're all, the Absolute titles themselves, I haven't found a bad one. Even like Absolute Superman, which is at the for right now, my weakest point for the comics, still has some good in it. But yeah, Absolute Wonder Woman is at the top of that list. So let's get started. So, Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 2, follows Diana finding out that there is another Amazon in a labyrinth, and she goes on the hunt to find this Amazon, only to discover a whole labyrinth full of creatures that are being locked up under there. What she doesn't know, however, is that a woman known as Clea has taken over the entire labyrinth and is not an Atlantean. Is not an Amazon, but in fact an Atlantean, which I'll talk more about that in a moment. Diana, this also is more of the world building. I've kind of noticed that with both Absolute Batman Volume 2 and Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 2, is that we see more of the world building in this next story arc, of kind of like background setup for, the titles going forward. Such is the case with the introduction of Veronica Cale, who's going to be the big overarching antagonist for Diana going forward in this comic. What I really enjoy about this series is how it still feels like a Wonder Woman book. Diana is arguably the most hopeful of the DC Absolute Trinity, and I also really like how this comic portrays Diana as that while she always affirms kindness and compassion to everyone, even her foes, she's also not afraid to be like, if you go against your word, I will kill you. So I do like that. I do like that Kelly Thompson really carries Diana in that way, that she is just incredibly compassionate. There's even like great background in the flashbacks in the comic to when Diana was training with Circe and the goddesses. And she's talking to, I believe, Athena, and it's either Athena or Artemis, I can't remember, but she's talking to her, and Athena is I'm just going to say Athena for sake of argument, it was Artemis, I'm sorry. She's talking to Artemis, and Artemis is just like, I don't get it. Like, you are meant to be a warrior, and you do fight well, but like, you just are so compassionate. That's so alien to me. It's such a great little thing right there, too. I also love the moments between Circe and young Diana. I really love the mother-daughter relationship in this universe between Circe and Diana. It's really great. I also enjoy that there's some deep cuts in this storyline. Not only do we get Absolute Dr. Poison in here, but we also get like some really deep cut Wonder Woman lore. Like, Clea is an Atlantean sorceress and a renegade Atlantean queen in the main universe, and she's like a C-list Wonder Woman villain. Although, to be fair, a lot of villains in Wonder Woman's Rogues Gallery could be considered like C-tier. But it's cool that we use Clea in this main storyline, and also showcase Ferdinand the Minotaur. There's also, like, every character that gets introduced is a character from the Wonder Woman universe. Some of them are really deep cut characters. And now that Clea's here, we do know more than likely that since there is an Atlantis, or was an Atlantis out there, Absolute Aquaman is probably around the corner in the near future. In fact, Scott Snyder talked about how the two titles he really wants first and foremost now are Absolute Cyborg and Absolute Absolute Aquaman, excuse me. Which, I gotta be honest, Absolute Cyborg, if I could pick for writers, I would say Dan Watters for Absolute Aquaman, and Absolute Cyborg, David Walker, yeah. Those would be my picks. Anyway, getting back on track, it really showcases like Diana's compassion and her just joy she has for life. I really also like the moment where she meets the other Amazon that she was looking for in the labyrinth named Io. And there's this wonderful moment where like she's seeing another Amazon and like it's just absolute joy, and Io is in awe of seeing Diana, and she says like your mom's name is Hippolyta, and she's like, my mom's name is Hippolyta. Yeah. And there's a great moment that actually got me kind of emotional. That's very rare in comics, that it's a very emotional moment where like Io gets sent back to Themyscira by Zeus apparently, and she goes right to Hippolyta and she's like, Diana's alive. Like, I saw her, she's alive. And then it's just a joyous moment in Themyscira where Hippolyta's just shouting out to the people, ring the bells, Diana's alive. And it's like an emotional moment. Yeah. So we still don't know what the Amazons are locked away for. I hope it's nothing like heartbreaking that's going to make Diana choose between Themyscira and Earth, but I know comics. So that's what's probably going to happen. It's also interesting to note that we have not seen any trace of Absolute Ares, which I'm wondering if Ares is going to be a villain in this universe at all, or if Kelly Thompson is going to make Ares more like his god, like his actual Greek mythology counterpart, where yes, Ares was, for all intents and purposes, an asshole in war. But the thing that really is kind of a big point for him is that he was also a protector of women. He is the father of Amazons. In fact, he's the reason why Themyscira exists, because he was so scared that his daughters were going to be sexually assaulted and murdered by men. He just literally built an island and was like, all right, girls, come on, you're going to live here. And no one's going to find you. He also, that's why in Greek mythology he hates Hercules so much, because of what he did to Hercules in his 12 labors did to Hippolyta. He did steal a belt from her, but in some interpretations of the labors, he also raped her. So that's why Ares has a real hate boner for Hercules in Greek mythology. It's not because, oh, Dad likes you more. It's more like, you asshole! That was my daughter! I am going to kill you! So I wonder if that's going to be the interpretation of Ares going forward. But yeah. I also like Veronica Cale as a villain. She's like a female Lex Luthor, and I love how she's kind of like building up Absolute Zatanna and has a whole menagerie of villains in there. It's also important to note, just a real quick thing, that I feel like they're kind of Thompson is hinting at either a romance between Diana and Steve Trevor or Barbara. There is an absolute cheetah, and but remember, there is more than one cheetah in the universe. So Barbara could still become like Barbara was the second, if I remember right. Barbara was the second cheetah. I can't remember the first one's name, or was Barbara the first? I can't remember. But there are multiple cheetahs. But yeah, I do wonder if they're going to Kelly Thompson is going to kind of tease the idea, the notion of the possibility of actually getting Barbara and Diana together, as it's always teased in the main universe. Or, I'm just saying, Kelly, you could do something really experimental and have like an actual poly couple. I'm sure Diana would be totally down with dating both Barbara and Steve, and they would be like, this is so weird. And she's like, this is like Greek 101. Also, what I like about this Wonder Woman's book, about the Absolute Wonder Woman book, is that it's not like with Absolute Superman or Absolute Batman, where people are still scared of them. In Absolute Wonder Woman, people are like, holy crap, it's Diana! Hi, Wonder Woman. They literally call her Diana because, remember, she did announce herself to the world as, hi, my name's Diana, I'm the last Amazon. You're all cool in my book. And she actually lives in, like, Gateway City is her, like, home city. So people are like, oh, cool, Diana! I wonder how long that's going to last till people turn on her in the comics, if they haven't already. Again, I'm reading in trade, so for all I know, the Zatanna arc, she got screwed in there. But yeah. All in all, I really love this book. I continue to say that Absolute Wonder Woman is my favorite of these titles. And this comic once again showcases it yet again. So yeah, Chris, thank you once again for this comic. And yeah, if you guys have read Absolute Wonder Woman, let me know. Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 2. Bleh. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.